When you look at people who seem genuinely successful, the ones who just generate breakthroughs, it doesn't look like a constant struggle, does it?
No, not at all.
It's more like flow. They just seem to glide. So why do some people have this sort of effortless power to manifest things, while others, maybe just as diligent, feel like they're constantly fighting friction?
That's really the core question of personal power, isn't it? And our sources today suggest the answer isn't just about working harder. It's about achieving internal coherence.
Internal coherence, okay.
Yeah, the friction tends to disappear when you resolve that inner conflict, that sort of civil war between the two biggest forces inside you.
And that is exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at material that analyzes this really powerful, sometimes chaotic interplay between passion and belief.
Heart and mind.
Exactly, heart and mind. We want to understand how these two forces, which often feel like they're pulling in opposite directions, are actually, well, complementary halves. Halves of what these teachings call an unstoppable force for transformation.
Right. We're digging into some pretty profound blueprints of consciousness here, pulling insights from philosophical teachings, specifically the wisdom within the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, and also, maybe surprisingly, ancient texts like the Gospel of Thomas.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the goal isn't just motivation, it's to understand let's say, the foundational physics of how our aligned inner world actually shapes our external reality.
Okay, physics of consciousness, I like that. So let's unpack this duality first. Heart, or passion, and mind, or belief. To align them, we first need to know what they're trying to do separately, right? How do these traditions define their roles?
Well, analytically, the definitions are quite precise. Belief. That's the intellectual core. It's rooted in logic, reason, cognitive certainty.
The thinking part.
Exactly. Think of it as the structure, the blueprint, maybe the roadmap that gives shape to what you want. It provides the how and the why. The source is literally called belief the root or the seed. It has to be planted first.
Okay, so belief is the stable structure. If I believe success is possible, I'm building that logical framework. But doesn't that risk becoming rigid? Like just cold, hard dogma if it's only logic?
And that's exactly where passion comes in. It's the essential counterbalance. Passion is the emotional component, the intensity, the fire,
The fuel.
the feeling part.
Right. It's the kinetic energy that takes that static structure of belief and makes it dynamic. If belief is the seed, passion is the intense energy that nurtures that seed. It's the heat and the water needed for it to actually sprout and grow.
So passion gives it velocity, but belief sets the trajectory. Okay. They absolutely need each other.
Definitely.
Let's think for a second about what happens when they don't work together, because I think we all feel the consequences of that sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And the sources give a clear diagnostic for this. If you have immense passion, but no real structure of belief, that energy just becomes, well, chaotic and directionless. I know people like that.
We all do, probably. It's the person starting a dozen brilliant projects but finishing none. They burn out because the energy has no logical container, no pathway. It's pure motivation without any method.
Okay. And the flip side, the person with the perfect plan, the perfect belief structure maybe, but zero heart in it.
That's the quiet tragedy of belief without passion. Without the fuel, belief just stays cold and sterile, never fully realized.
Like that business plan just sitting on the shelf.
Exactly. Or the academic, with a brilliant theory that never leaves the ivory tower. You have a perfect structure, a blueprint that never gets built because the emotional force needed to actually move it forward is missing.
Yeah.
You often see this as procrastination that's really fueled by perfectionism.
Right. The fear of messing up the perfect plan kills the energy. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. What's the mechanism? How does this internal alignment, this fusion of mind and heart, actually translate into tangible external results?
Well, the sources describe it as creating a single integrated energy field. When passion and belief merge, they stop being two separate, maybe conflicting forces. They become one. Like a manifestation engine.
Manifestation engine.
Yeah. And this engine seems to do two things at once. It attracts opportunities to you, and it drives the internal persistence you need to take action on those opportunities.
It sounds like reaching a state of complete internal coherence. We often hear this talked about as a specific kind of vibration, right?
That is precisely the language used, especially in the more mystical sources. This fusion creates a vibrational match with the universe. When your logical framework, your belief and your emotional state, your passion are vibrating at the same frequency, and that frequency is aligned with your desire, you achieve coherence.
Okay.
And then the universal law kicks in. Like attracts like. The external world, the universe, essentially has to start reflecting the harmony and the certainty that you've cultivated inside.
So it's not enough to just intellectually say you want something. You have to emotionally embody the reality of it. It has to feel true in your gut, not just sound true in your head.
Grandmaster WaXhira, the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, put it perfectly, I think. There's a quote, "To believe is to set the intention. To feel is to bring it to life."
Oh,
The feeling, the passion, it isn't just a nice bonus. It's the vitalizing force. Belief gives you the coordinates, the destination, but the feeling. That's the engine that actually gets you there.
this idea of internal union, it's clearly ancient. It's not some new self-help fad.
Hmm.
If we're looking for the instructions, the manual for this kind of mastery, these ancient blueprints seem key. Let's start with the Gospel of Thomas. Why is that text relevant here?
Well, the Gospel of Thomas really lays down a philosophical cornerstone for this idea of non-dualism as being necessary for creation.
Yeah.
It says that true spiritual transformation, or as the text puts it, entering the kingdom, happens when you make the two one.
Make the two one.
Yeah. And it's not just poetic language. It seems to be a direct instruction about achieving internal integration before you can expect external change.
And it uses specific metaphors for the dualities we need to unify, right?
It does. It lists several key splits that need resolving, making the inside like the outside. That means your thoughts and intentions, your belief, have to match your visible actions and reality driven by passion.
Okay.
Making the above like the below, that's about integrating your higher spiritual ideals with your grounded physical life, not keeping them separate.
And maybe the most potent one it mentions, making the male and the female one and the same. What's that about?
Exactly. In many, many ancient traditions, that duality is a powerful metaphor for the mind-heart split we're talking about. The male principle often represents the linear, logical, structuring mind that's belief.
Right.
And the female principle represents the flowing, intuitive, energetic, creative heart that's passion.
Ah, I see.
So to make them one is literally to unify the logical plan with the creative fire. It's about resolving that internal conflict between thought and feeling that holds so many people back.
Okay. So if Thomas gives us the why, the mandate for union, it sounds like the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood provides the how, a practical, structured curriculum for achieving it. They actually formalize this process.
They absolutely did.
Yeah.
For the Brotherhood, this union of structured belief and flowing passion is the definition of mastery. Grandmaster WaXhira was explicit. True spiritual mastery comes when your belief in the divine is fused with the passion of your heart.
Fused.
Fused. Together, she says, they create a force that moves mountains. For in that fusion lies the energy of creation itself.
Moving mountains requires structure, though, not just strong feelings. And they break down this mastery path into 3 specific degrees, right? Each with tools. This sounds like where the practical application really begins for listeners.
It is. And the tools are these brilliant metaphors for the internal process. The first stage is the initiate. And the main job here is basically stabilizing your emotional self, your passion, using the logical structure of belief.
Okay, initiate. And the tools are the ocean, wave, and ship. How do those connect to passion and belief?
Well, the ocean represents the vast, powerful, sometimes volatile energy of passion. Your whole emotional landscape, it just is.
Right.
The ship represents the structure of your belief, the logical, stable framework of your intention, your goals, and the wave. That's the immediate, sometimes chaotic emotional response hitting you right now.
Okay.
The initiate learns you can't stop the ocean or the waves. That's futile. But you can build a strong ship, a solid belief system to navigate those waves without getting swamped or capsized.
Yeah.
The focus here is really survival and finding basic stability amidst your own emotional sea.
That's a fantastic diagnostic tool right there. Are you operating like a well-built ship, or are you just debris tossed around by every wave? Okay,
Yeah.
Once the initiate gets that stability, they move up to navigator.
Correct. The navigator moves beyond just surviving the waves to actually directing the journey. Their task is to guide both their emotions, passion, and their logic, belief, toward a unified, chosen purpose. The tools here are the captain's wheel, compass, and anchor.
The captain's wheel sounds like actively steering your beliefs.
Precisely. The captain's wheel is about the active, conscious direction of your belief structure. You're making deliberate logical choices about where you're headed.
Okay.
The compass is your internal, unchanging reference point. Maybe your core values, your spiritual guidance. It ensures your passion, your drive, doesn't just veer off course into purely selfish pursuits. It keeps you aligned with something deeper.
And the anchor, that's interesting. It's not about stopping.
No, not permanently. The anchor is fascinating. It's used to maintain stability during temporary emotional storms, those surges of passion. It represents the ability to pause, regain your bearings, and find that internal coherence even when external or internal chaos erupts. It's about consciously choosing stability over reaction.
I like that. Okay, and then the final stage, the captain. This sounds like full embodiment, where alignment is just the default state.
Yes, the third degree is the captain. This person fully embodies that union of passion and belief. They navigate higher consciousness, higher states of being, with a kind of effortless clarity. Their tools are the blazing star, sextant, and bell.
Blazing star and sextant sound very directional, very purposeful.
They are. The blazing star represents that unified, singular purpose guiding the captain. Heart and mind are totally locked onto a single, powerful objective. It shines brightly.
Okay.
The sextant is the tool used to constantly measure their alignment with that star. It's about ensuring their internal state, the blend of passion and belief, perfectly matches their intended trajectory and the external reality they're navigating. It's for fine-tuning.
And the bell.
The bell represents the output. The clear, resonant sound, the vibration, the coherent energy field that is created by that perfect alignment. When the bell is struck by this internal unity, it resonates outwards, creating the physical manifestation almost effortlessly. It's the signal that creation is happening.
Wow. Okay, so bringing this all back home, back to that initial question about why some people glide towards their goals and others struggle. The core takeaway seems to be that passion and belief aren't enemies. They're designed to be partners in a powerful creation engine.
Exactly.
And the struggle we feel isn't about needing more willpower to try harder. It's more about the friction from misalignment. It's about getting the heart and mind to, well, sing the same note coherently.
That's it. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the spiritual mastery these texts describe isn't really about racking up external wins. It's about achieving that internal unity. When the logical planning mind and the energetic emotional heart are truly fused in purpose, when you genuinely make the two one, the universe, by its own laws, seems compelled to reflect that coherent, unstoppable power back at you.
That really lands. Which brings us to a final thought, maybe a provocative question for you, the listener, to consider this week. Given that the law of the universe seems to be like attracts like, if you feel your current reality is reflecting discord or friction or constant struggle, just consider, which of these two vital forces, the structured belief or the energetic passion, might you be allowing to remain maybe a bit chaotic or directionless right now? And thinking about those tools, maybe the ship or the compass, what's one specific logical action you could take, perhaps even today, to start bringing them back into better alignment?